It's 11:47 p.m. Aiden is staring at his phone, thumb hovering over the send button. A coworker took credit for his idea. In a meeting today, he's drafted a reply, sharp, a little cruel. If he's honest, he tells himself, it's just the truth. But some part of him already knows this isn't really about being honest. It's about wanting the other person to feel as small as he felt this afternoon. His thumb doesn't move yet, and in that pause, right there, is the entire concept. Most people misunderstand their whole lives. Karma. Most people think of it as some cosmic ledger. Fate, a universal point system, quietly keeping score, waiting to punish you or reward you later. That's the version that shows up in casual conversation. Someone cuts you off in traffic and gets a red light 2 blocks later, and somebody laughs. Karma. That's not what the word means. In its original sense, karma simply means action, not destiny, not judgment from somewhere above. Just this, what you do right now with your thumb hovering over that button. Let's walk through this step by step, and by the end, you'll understand why that pause Aiden is sitting in matters more than almost anything else. In his day, at its simplest, karma is about actions and their consequences. Every action you take, physical, spoken, or even just a thought, creates an effect. Cause and effect, in its most basic form. Think of it like planting a seed. Plant a mango seed. You don't get an apple tree. You get a mango tree every time. No exceptions. Your actions work the same way. They produce results that match their own nature. Kind word can lift someone's entire day, sending a small ripple of ease through everyone they meet after that. A cruel word, sent at 11:47 p.m., can do the opposite. This isn't a cosmic punishment system. It's a way of understanding how intentional actions condition what follows them, quietly connecting actions to outcomes, whether you're watching for it or not. It's important to separate this from fate. Fate implies you're locked in, that the story is already written and you're just reading it out loud. Karma is the opposite of that. It's built entirely around choice. Your past actions shaped where you're standing right now, but what you do from this exact moment is still completely up to you. Picture driving a car. Your past is the road behind you. You can't unsee it. You can't go back and repave it. But where the car goes from here depends entirely on how you steer right now. That's what makes understanding karma genuinely empowering instead of frightening. Your future isn't set in stone. It's being built decision by decision, the way a road gets laid down, one section at a time. So how does this actually play out across a single day, a single choice, like the one Aiden is sitting with? It helps to think of karma moving through for different moments, not 4 separate boxes, one continuous motion seen from 4 angles. The first is everything already behind you, every habit, every pattern, every tendency you've built up over years, sitting quietly in the background of who you are. Some of it you're barely aware of. If you've spent years practicing patience, that patience tends to surface almost on its own, exactly when you need it. If you've spent years feeding resentment that has weight too, it doesn't vanish, it waits. Aiden has both sitting in him right now. Years of swallowing frustration at work, telling himself, "It's fine, it's not worth it." And years, too, of watching his father lose his temper over small things, pattern he swore he'd never repeat, and mostly hasn't, except on nights like this one, when he's tired and hurt and alone with his phone. Neither of these decided tonight for him, but both of them are in the room. The second moment is what's already ripening right now in this exact situation. Aiden didn't choose to be humiliated in that meeting that already happened. It's like a meal that's already been placed in front of you. You didn't get to change the order, but you still get to choose how you respond to what's on the plate. And here's where it gets interesting. That response isn't neutral. It's the third moment, the karma you're creating right now in real time. This is the most powerful moment of all because it's the only one completely within your control. Every thought, every word, every choice in this instant is a seed going into the ground. Aiden's thumb still hovering. Send the message. One seed. Set the phone down. Breathe. Reply tomorrow morning. Instead, a completely different seed, which brings us to the fourth moment. Not something separate, just what naturally grows from whatever was just planted. You can't undo what's already in the soil, but you have enormous influence over what gets planted. Next, the Buddha's own teaching on this is precise, and it's worth being exact about, because a lot of what gets called karma online isn't quite what he actually taught. He described karma ripening across different time frames, some effects showing up almost immediately, some not surfacing until much later, some not appearing within this lifetime at all. But underneath all of that timing, he was extremely specific about one thing. It's not simply what you do that creates karma. It's intention, cetanā, in the original language, the will, the motive behind the action. Give someone a gift out of genuine care. That's one kind of seed. Give the exact same gift to manipulate them, to make them owe you something. That's an entirely different seed, even though from the outside, the two actions look identical. This is why mindfulness matters so much in this teaching, not because you're being watched, because your own intention is the actual seed being planted, whether anyone else ever sees it or not. Karma doesn't always show its effects right away. Sometimes the smallest action has consequences that take years to fully unfold. This is often called the ripple effect. Drop a single pebble into a still pond. The first ring is small, but it keeps expanding outward long after the pebble has settled. One act of kindness doesn't just reach the person you helped, it reaches the people they interact with afterward. A chain quietly extending further than you'll ever see. The same is true in the other direction. Careless word said in anger can hurt someone far more deeply than you intended. That hurt doesn't stay contained. It moves outward too, into how they treat the next person and the next. No acción is actually small. Every choice is already in motion. Think about the coworker who took credit for Aiden's idea in that meeting. Maybe they did it out of simple carelessness, maybe out of their own quiet insecurity, a fear of not being noticed enough on their own merit. Either way, that single moment, 30 seconds, of talking over someone is already rippling outward into how Aiden now sees that person, into whether he'll offer to help them next time, into the small, almost invisible shift in trust between two people who still have to work together tomorrow. Neither of them may ever trace it back to that moment. That's how ripples usually work. By morning, Aiden hasn't sent the message. He's read it back 3 times and deleted it twice as long, replacing it with something simpler, calmer, not because he suppressed what he felt, because he let a few hours separate the moment he felt hurt from the moment he acted on it. That gap is where almost all of this teaching actually lives. Negative karma can feel like something you're stuck carrying, an old mistake, an old habit, pattern you can't shake. But this teaching was never meant to trap you there. This teaching was never meant to explain away every hardship as something you must have earned in some past life. Illness, accidents, the ordinary unfairness of being born into difficult circumstances, none of that gets reduced to a simple verdict of past wrongdoing. Karma explains pattern. It was never meant to explain every single thing that happens to you. Wisdom lets you see the actual chain of cause and effect behind your own patterns instead of being run by them blindly. Not the wisdom of having all the answers, just the wisdom of recognizing honestly where a particular reaction usually comes from and where it usually leads. Compassion gives you a reason to want something different for yourself and for whoever you might affect. It's easy to think of compassion as something soft, reserved for people who deserve it, but the harder, more useful version of compassion is the kind you extend to someone who's currently making your life difficult, recognizing that hurt people often move through the world, hurting others without fully meaning to, and mindfulness is what lets you actually catch the moment, the way Aiden did before the seed gets planted, not a permanent state you achieve once and keep forever, just a habit built one pause at a time of noticing before reacting instead of after. Buddhist teaching offers very practical guidance here, 3 pieces of it, worth naming directly: right intention, cultivating kindness, and letting go of resentment before it hardens into something harder to release. Right speech, speaking honestly, but also gently, avoiding words built to wound. Right action, living in a way that doesn't cause harm, even when no one's watching. None of these are about suppressing anger or pretending you don't feel it. They're about what you choose to do with it once you've felt it fully. Anger itself isn't the problem. It's information. Tells you something mattered, something felt unfair, something crossed a line you value. The question was never whether to feel it. It's what you build on top of that feeling once it's arrived. Sometimes breaking a pattern means letting go of something from further back. Forgiveness is one of the most underrated tools in this entire teaching, not because it excuses what happened, because resentment is a seed too, and it keeps growing, whether you want it to or not, as long as you keep watering it. Forgiving someone doesn't mean what they did was fine. It means you're no longer willing to carry it as fuel You can set a boundary, change how much access someone has to your life, and still, underneath that, let go of the grip the old hurt has on your own mind. Those two things aren't in conflict, and forgiving yourself for the messages you did send, the moments you didn't pause, matters just as much. You were learning then, you're still learning now. Most people are far harsher with themselves over old mistakes than they'd ever be with a close friend who made the same one. That harshness doesn't undo anything, it just adds another layer of weight to something that's already in the past. None of this has to stay purely theoretical. There are simple, concrete ways to actually practice it. Kindness doesn't require grand gestures, helping a neighbor, actually listening to a friend who's struggling instead of waiting for your turn to talk, giving without keeping score of what you'll get back, even something as small as letting someone merge into traffic ahead of you without the flash of irritation that usually comes with it. Meditation builds the exact muscle. This all depends on noticing your own mind before it acts. A few minutes watching your breath, your thoughts as they rise and pass, or a practice built specifically around goodwill, repeating something as simple as, "May I be at ease, may others be at ease too." Some people find it easier to practice this towards someone they're currently struggling with, silently wishing them ease, not because they've earned it, but because carrying hostility toward them is its own quiet weight. Ethical living matters here as well, avoiding harm where you reasonably can, speaking honestly even when a small lie would be easier, treating other living things with basic care, not because you're being graded, but because harm once caused doesn't stay contained any more than kindness does, and gratitude quietly reshapes how all of this feels, noticing what's already good instead of only what's missing. A quiet evening, an honest conversation, the specific relief of finally putting the phone down and choosing sleep over one more hour of rehearsing what you should have said. Small things that stop mattering only if you stop noticing them. There's a deeper layer to all of this too, worth mentioning before we close. Buddhist teaching doesn't stop at simply creating good karma instead of bad. The larger goal is understanding karma clearly enough to eventually move beyond needing it to run your life at all. That's a much longer conversation tied to concepts like samsara, the ongoing cycle of craving and consequence, and nirvana, the liberation that comes from ending the very conditions that sustain craving, suffering, and rebirth. We won't unpack all of that here. It's a much longer story, the kind that could fill an entire video on its own, but it's worth knowing. This teaching goes far deeper than simply be nice. Bad things won't happen to you. It's not a reward system, it's a mirror. It shows you with total honesty exactly what you've been planting and exactly what you're capable of planting instead. Starting right now, Aiden's coworker never found out about the message that almost got sent. That's not really the point. The point is what Aiden noticed in that pause about himself, that the version of him reacting at 11:47 p.m. wasn't the only version available to him There was another one, waiting a few hours, choosing differently. Karma isn't about fear. It isn't about punishment, waiting somewhere, down the road. Simply this, your actions today are the seeds of tomorrow, not as a threat, as an invitation. Because if the future really is built this way, moment by moment, then the moment you're in right now, whatever it is already part of it.